So, how to get through a plateau when you feel like you're already doing everything right, but you just aren't losing weight. And a lot of people get here on their keto journey. Like they have this really rapid success, and then things start to slow down. It might be after 3 months, it might be after a year, but things just start to slow down and you feel like you've plateaued. So we had a member go through this and we helped them just reframe and kind of back up and look at everything that was going into their mouth to, take a fresh look at a few things to get back on track and to continue to lose some weight.
Yeah, so we can't guarantee results, but I will share that this member lost 5 pounds over 7 days just making these adjustments. So this can work. And this is someone who's been on keto for quite a while. So the challenge is to look at your food quality. You've got to look at what you're eating. And if you're like, I know, just stay tuned, because I think even if you pick up one little tip here, that might make the difference. Just that one little thing.
So what are some of the foods that you might need to find a healthier replacement for?
Like the foods you're already eating that you know I could do better here.
Like prepared, like packaged meats or packaged dairy and things like that. Like, are you just buying like the really low quality stuff that has a lot of added fillers or something like that? Could you be doing something better with that particular thing that is going to make the difference in this plateau?
Look at your packaged foods, and we're going to give you some things to look out for on the label. So if you're eating any kind of a packaged food, grab your notebook, pen and paper, because we're going to share next some ingredients to watch out for, and just try eliminating them for 7 or 10 days and see what happens.
So things on the label that you want to look out for. We've already mentioned one of them, which is inulin. Right? Inulin can be a very healthy prebiotic, right? So food for probiotics, but it can also cause some blood sugar spikes, right? So inulin is not completely benign in the body. It does and can have an effect on your blood sugar. So if you're consuming a lot of inulin, you need to watch out for that. And that can come up in some of those products like we talked about, like the Lily's baking chips. Also, another one is IMOs, so isomalto oligosaccharides, sometimes hidden behind the names like tapioca fibers. So that's, again, like we talked about with the labeling requirements changing from year to year. IMOs can hide behind that name of tapioca.
Or maltodextrin.
Just because that's allowed by the FDA and labeling requirements. So you need to look at some of those, and maybe you need to go out and do some research on the internet and find out, like, okay, is this tapioca fiber really IMOs?
And right? Call the company. I mean, that's, if they don't know, then that's something to omit temporarily. We're not saying forever with any of this stuff. So then some sugar substitutes that can really undermine results are maltitol, sorbitol, and isomalt.
Yeah. And maltodextrin, and then of course one we've already talked about a number of times already, which is vegetable glycerin, which you might find in some of the flavored stevia products. In a lot of bars, you'll see vegetable glycerin. What else? Candies or no?
Bars to eat, not bars to drink.
Bars to drink.
Bars.
Oh.
Drinking. Never mind. You didn't get my joke.
Okay.
So just to repeat that: inulin, IMOs, maltitol, sorbitol, isomalt, maltodextrin, vegetable glycerin.
Yeah, and all of these can be hiding in varying amounts in even some keto products, right? It's just, sometimes that's the ingredient that makes the thing work, right? So in small doses, it's fine, but if it's something that you're consuming on a daily basis, or maybe even multiple times a day, I have a friend whose wife was eating 3 or 4 of the keto ice cream bars that you can find at Costco now, right? 3 or 4 a day. That's excessive for a product like that, because it is going to add up and it's going to have an effect on your diet and possibly cause you to plateau.
And I will just mention that inulin is also sometimes labeled as chicory root fiber because it's from chicory root. So just be aware of that. And then finally, if you've done that and you're still struggling with results, take a look at getting rid of everything containing artificial sweeteners. So Splenda, sucralose, aspartame, acesulfame, and saccharin, and any other artificial sweetener. Some people will go as far as omitting sugar substitutes to just help give their body a reset, just stopping all that sweet tasting things. And there's a number of there's 4 different studies here that we'll link in the description below. We won't put them in the comments now, but we'll link them in the description below. And what they do is they talk about how artificial sweeteners can actually cause weight gain. So some of these artificial sweeteners are now being studied to actually promote weight gain. So there's some really interesting stuff there. So if you are like I used to be a decade ago, you know, and drinking like a gallon of Crystal Light a day that's got all those artificial sweeteners, maybe that's a problem. Maybe that's undermining your efforts, and just simply switching that out could get you the results that you really want to get.
Right, and it's not just, remember, sweetness is not just, the sugar is not just a calorie, right? It's signaling, right? Sweetness is a signal to your body to do something outside of the calories it might provide. The same as protein and fat, right? It's all plays a signaling role in our body. So when we taste sweet, no matter what that sweet is, it can have an effect on your blood glucose levels, because it's telling your body, like, get ready for something, right? Because of this particular type of taste. So that's a good idea, is to, maybe it is time to omit all types of sweeteners from your diet to bust through this plateau, and then reintroduce them as you see fit.
Yeah, and just be aware of how they impact your body when you reintroduce. So this is really just a classic way of you just get rid of things in your diet, 7 to 10 days, you know, see what happens, then reintroduce them and see what happens then. So we really encourage you to just form a hypothesis, make a decision, and just start with one thing. There's no need to do all the things at the same time, right? Just start with one thing, try that for 7 to 10 days, see if you get better results, and then make an adjustment based off of those results. And eventually you figure out what works for you.